Hi, how's it going, everybody? This is Angel Negrete, and we're trying a new thing out. We're going to do a new show. It's a YouTube channel that we're going to see if we can do. It's basically, for right now, we're just going to do like reviews and topics and different issues going on and see, pretty much just give our opinions and our take on it. So, my name's Angel. I have next to me Jeff right here, and over here in the corner is my friend Edgar, the Villalobos brother. His other brother is going to be part of this show, but right now he's not here. So
it's MIA for the moment.
It'll be us for just right now. So the three topics that we're going to go over for this video are going to be the Joker, the new movie The Joker. We're going to kind of give our take on what we thought of it. We have wildly conflicting views. It got a little heated before we started recording, but we'll see if we can try to recapture that magic. But after that, we'll probably do the review for the Batwoman first episode, the pilot episode for the new Batwoman, and kind of get into the Ruby Rose debacle that she's got going on. So I guess who wants to be the first to give their take on the Joker?
Well, I personally enjoyed it. I guess it's, 50-50 right now with audiences and whatnot?
Well, no, the audience score is actually really high.
Or is it?
The audience
or was it the Oscar?
Yeah, it was like the Oscar the Oscar critics that were kind of 50-50 because they're the ones that are going to vote it in, right, for the most part, I guess.
Yeah.
So it was like 50-50 divided between them. And then a lot of uncertainty. So a lot of people that were like, I just don't know how to feel about this movie. But there was a lot of people that loved it, and the people that loved it really loved it, and the people that didn't, it wasn't so much that they didn't like the movie. I think kind of like from my standpoint, I guess they didn't like the movie, but I'll get into mine right now. But,
well, I mean, I enjoyed the whole story. I went in there just open-minded, not expecting anything, just knowing backgrounds of the Joker. But yeah, I like the direction that they went with it. The whole is the dark side with he was abandoned, the foster care, his adopted parents, they were abusive. He went through all that, and then just the lies that he was told throughout his life that led to him just breaking, especially with his mental condition too. Like that didn't help at all.
Yeah.
So I mean, I just like the story. It was interesting. It was completely different from Heath Ledger's, from Jack Nicholson, and even the original one in the 60s. This was another good version.
Well, so name me two. So give me one thing that you tell me what you liked best about the movie, and then tell me right after like one thing that you didn't actually like about the movie, if there is anything.
But I like the whole story with it. I mean, there isn't.
Is that what captured? Like, what was your favorite thing about the movie? Like, well, if you had to say like this is what made the movie awesome to me, what is it that made the movie awesome to you?
Just the lead up to it. Like it was. Yeah, I could see why people saw that it was slow, but then at the end it just like spiked up, and it was like, oh, this is the Joker, as we kind of know him. But I guess the director said that they weren't, or it's a spin-off, so it's not even part of the DC universe. So just it's a spin-off, and they just took in pieces from the comic, and it was its own thing, and I enjoyed it. Just the whole story of just leading up, and then just at the end of it. Just spiking, and then just the whole loop with how Batman gets kind of intertwined with it too. Maybe that, I guess. So his whole backstory, and then just at the point where Batman gets involved, or not, Bruce and his family gets involved. Not they get involved. They just become part of the Joker's story. I guess that's what I enjoyed. Just the lead up to that, and then just you see the loop with. How Bruce becomes who he is, I guess. The only thing I didn't like, I guess, was just the physical aspect of it. Like, he's malnourished, he doesn't work out at all, but you see him just running away from the cops like a mile or two. Like, there's no way.
Yeah, at the end of the movie where he's trying to...
That's about it.
What was he doing? He was... why was he...
He was trying to get to the show, right?
Oh, no.
No, they were trying to talk to him because...
they found out that... They were thinking that he might have been the one that killed the people on the train.
He was a suspect, I guess. Yeah.
But he was on the way to the show.
Yeah.
But they went to him before, and they talked to his mom, remember?
Yeah. And that's why she went to the hospital.
Yeah, because she had a mental breakdown, I guess.
Yeah, she broke down, and then and then they found him again right before he was going to go to the show. But he might have gotten, because I still don't know why he was really scared, unless they had already gone to his place and they saw he had just killed his little friend.
Yeah.
Oh no!
He didn't kill he let him go. Yeah, he killed the other friend.
Yeah,
the guy that sold him the gun.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Well, what about you, Jeff? What? Give your overview, and then I guess one thing that you loved about the movie, and then one thing you hated. If you can.
In general, it was a good movie. I did not really like the whole take on it. It was a little bit pushed too far within, like, it was really boring, and then it picked up, but it took too long to get to the good scenes. I would say my favorite part is when he follows the girl to her apartment, and he goes inside and he realizes it was all in his imagination.
Yeah.
And then I just think the movie was really good. The acting was great. The whole planning of the movie is fantastic. But not a really big fan of how it was completely portrayed. And I just wish it could have been a little bit probably explained better. Or made it a little bit more of a twist. More like where you're getting, like, really have to think about what's going on, because they kind of made you think one thing and then they just gave it to you at the end. I think they should have made you think a little bit more, and you could have been like, oh, what the hell's happening? Oh, what the hell's happening? And then at the end just kind of ease into what really is a story. Probably would have made it a little bit more interesting instead of just boring. Oh, I guess that's what happened. And that's the only thing I could really think of.
Yeah. So name what you loved about it then. So what
I just like the aspect of that's what people with mental illness go through, and how
they portrayed it.
Yeah, how this shouldn't be seen as, oh, that's just another Joker movie. This is more like of a realistic Joker movie. It's like, this could actually happen, which in the other ones it's all make believe, which this is a little bit more of like the tale of a psychopath and then just shooting up people.
Yeah, it's kind of like they give you a little bit of an in-depth look of something that's somewhat real, right? It's something that's dark, something that we don't really know, because we're pretty much, for the most part, mentally stable.
More plausible,
right?
yeah.
Right, and when we don't have to deal with all that stuff on a regular basis, so you kind of see this guy dive into it, and you see a dark side that you're like, whoa, what the hell? This is crazy. But it's something that people actually kind of do, in some sense, struggle with, and I think that's kind of, I think that realism, I think that was pretty entertaining. I don't know that it was particularly interesting for me, but I think that was entertaining in the sense that I was just like, damn, that's pretty crazy, I do have to agree. I know Edgar, we were talking about this earlier. Edgar kind of disagrees with the fact that I think that the story is uninteresting, but I think that the story is uninteresting, but I have to agree with Edgar at the same time, though, because I think that was what they were going for. I don't think they were going for any plot twists or anything like that. They were trying to give you like a real story of this guy who's going through actual problems, and the only real twist that they're giving you is just something that he actually went through, which is he created these stories in his head, and when he found out that they weren't actually happening, realized that, by looking at his history, that he was, clinically, kind of crazy because of the stuff that he had gone through. It just kind of all broke him. So I think they were going for that realistic aspect, and since that's what they were going for, I have to give them credit. I think they did phenomenal with that, and I think Joaquin Phoenix just blew it out of the park with his acting. I think his acting just made that movie phenomenal. I think his acting made that movie great. Personally, in my own opinion, I don't think I would watch the movie again, because I think to me the movie was just like, I think it was a boring story. I don't think the story was all too interesting. There was like Jeff said, there's no twists or anything like that really intrigued me. But then again, like I said, I think that was kind of the point, right? They're trying to give you that realism. So I mean, if you're looking at it solely based on what they were trying to do, I think they knocked it out of the park. If you're going based on solely on what they're trying to do, I think they nailed it. If you're going for a movie that you are hoping to entertain you, I think you're gonna want to look for something else. If you want something that's just gonna be brutally realistic about almost seemingly a documentary type thing where you're just going in there to kind of watch and learn an inside look of something that actually happens in the world. I think in that aspect, then yeah. The only thing is that this is actually a story, right? And it's based on a character, so it's not really real. They're giving you a take. So you're kind of hoping for, a slight sense, you're kind of hoping for a little bit of a story.
Right.
I don't think they deliver on that aspect, but at the same time, I don't necessarily think that's what they were going for the most part. So I'm kind of split 50-50 here. I think the acting and they nailed the direction they were trying to go for. Joaquin Phoenix nailed the character that they wanted. I just don't like that portrayal. I think Edgar doesn't like when I say it, but I think that the whole loner loser gets picked on, wants attention, and then breaks down because he doesn't get the attention that he wants. So he finds the attention, and the only way that he can get the attention is that he starts killing people, and then all of a sudden he gets noticed, and then that's his gratification. It just wasn't, in my particular opinion, it wasn't unique. But then again, it might not have been the direction that they were going for. I don't know if that was the direction that maybe they were just going for something that's not unique. It's just is what it is type of thing. So for that, I mean, I gotta give them credit on that part, and I think they did phenomenal with that. Would I ever watch it again? I don't think I'll watch it again. It just wasn't one of those movies that
I wouldn't watch it again either.
Yeah.
I'll watch it again. I mean, not anytime soon. Just let it.
3 years from now, I'll probably watch it again.
And 3 years from now, I think Angel's right.
We'll see. We'll see when he gets that Oscar.
No,
I mean, I don't doubt he will get the Oscar. He did fantastic on the acting.
That was some tremendous acting.
I mean, I'm not discrediting him on the acting. It was great. I'm just saying, the movie itself isn't that great. The portrayal is fantastic.
Yeah.
The movie direction and everything is good. It's just not that great of a story.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but that's why I say it's not like the comics, because the comics, even Heath Ledger's like, yeah, that was really entertaining because he's got that witty banter, he has the explosions and all that stuff, he's fighting Batman and whatever, but just the tone of this movie, it was pretty dark. And maybe it wasn't a thriller that people might have been expecting because of the Joker, but I feel like it just fits the Joker.
I'll give you like a good example. Little Red Riding Hood. You can tell the story, and you're like, whatever, I heard that story 1,000 times. But you've seen the story on different twists with different acting and different twists and turns, and you're like, oh damn, that's pretty cool.
So they give you a unique version of what you already kind of know. Where this was just this was unique. It was a different version that you don't know. I just didn't.
Just doesn't grab you.
Yeah, it just didn't entertain me in the way that you would expect for a movie to entertain you. At least for me. I think, like I said, if you're going in it, I think I have to agree with Edgar on that. If you're going in it looking at it like, okay, let me see what it is they're trying to show, I guess. I don't know if there's a better way of saying that. Let me take this painting.
Well, yeah, no expectations, just open mind, just, all right, let's see where this goes.
Yeah, let me take this painting for what it is they painted it for. I mean, you could go look at art and you can say, well, this is stupid, or you can look at it and say, well, what was the artist trying to get at here? And then you can appreciate it for what they were trying to get at. And then appreciate what talent it took to even make that. I mean, you might not like it. It might not be your own personal taste, but because it's what it took to make that painting, you can appreciate it for that, one. And then two, you can appreciate it for how they were trying to, what they were trying to say in that art. You'd be like, man, they really got a lot of, emotion into this artwork. I might not like it personally, but at the same time, I mean, you got to give credit where credit's due. It took a lot of work, and it's a very interesting piece of work, I think. Piece of artwork, I think. All right, well, that I think should wrap up for right now the the Joker. I mean, maybe when we watch it for the second time and I fall asleep
come back
halfway
to
through, we'll come back to it and then see what Edgar's.
I'm surprised we didn't fall asleep because we were on Lazy Boys.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Dude, I was the opposite. I was just watching it. I was just like, whoa. Like, I mean, you were next to me. Did you hear? I was laughing at certain parts. That was like that dark humor.
Yeah.
I was enjoying myself.
Well,
like,
I thought that there was some funny parts.
I mean, only psycho people enjoy that kind of stuff. Just saying.
Yeah, I don't know how to explain that. I honestly don't know how to explain it. Like, I was intrigued with the movie. That's why it didn't lull me off to sleep. But the only thing I keep coming back to is like I think it was just the acting. The acting was just so crazy to me. Like I was like, man, like this guy like just played that role just great. I don't know how to explain it. He just did it so great that it was like, man, like he really went full throttle awkward with it. Like it was just like awkward and crazy, and it was just like, damn, like.
That's why when I heard Joaquin was gonna be the Joker, I was like, oh, this guy's done stuff similar to this where he's just enveloped in his character and he's not afraid to take it there either. And when I heard about it, I was like, all right, this guy, he's gonna be able to do it. It wasn't like Jared Leto where you're like oh, who's this guy? You know? Like, yeah, I've heard of him. I've seen him in other movies, but it's like, I don't know. I guess I didn't have that much expectations on Leto, but when I heard Joaquin was doing it, I was like, all right, it's gonna be good.
Yeah. I wasn't so sure about the. I mean, I've seen a couple of things of Joaquin Phoenix. So I wasn't going in there with any real expectations on his part. I was more going.
And I think he had a mental breakdown, like, or not a mental breakdown, but you remember? Did you guys remember when he was just he had grew his beard out, his hair was out, and just had glasses? I don't know if he was like on meds or something, like. But that was when he kind of went off the rails for a little bit.
Oh, really?
So that's why I was like, oh, he can do that again.
He didn't mean to the first time, but now he's gonna use it. No, okay. Well, I think we covered it pretty well. So we'll move on to the next one. So the next thing we wanted to go over was Ruby Rose's Batwoman. We kind of watched at least what I want to say like half.
We watched enough.
Three quarters of it.
Enough, yeah.
Yeah, we watched enough of it to kind of get an idea of what we thought. I know. Ruby Rose came out. The whole controversy behind it was the fact that she came out with this statement saying that, there's enough TV shows out there for rich white men or something like that, something to the effect of that. So pretty much saying, go watch your own shows, stay out of mine, and don't rate it because
they created that character, right?
And I think that one thing that everyone's been saying, which Edgar was saying earlier too, was if you're gonna do these characters, I mean, I don't see anything wrong with sticking to what the character was created to be, and if you want to create these new characters that are, trans, lesbian, all that good stuff, make your own characters. What's wrong with that? You want a super trans person, then make a super trans person.
You're taking something that's already known and established and like you're calling it your own.
Yeah.
It's like, no, I see what they're trying to do with it, but it's like, it's killing what you guys are going for. I mean, this could have potential. I mean, I don't see nothing wrong with it. Just the fact that they take it and then just call it their own, it's like, no, you can't do that.
Yeah, and
it kills it.
Yeah, and it's very interesting. I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that I think the whole like LGBTQ community is...
They're trying really hard.
I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that they're trying to push their political agendas. I think if... Or
the networks are selling out.
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta sell out to please the
What's the next wave?
What's the next thing that's coming up? The next fab, if you want to say it.
Yeah, because I think a lot of I mean, there are times where you get character swaps with different characters. I mean, hey, look at Joker, totally different take. I think you get that. I think what kills the movie is you're going into a show, you're going into a movie expecting to be entertained. And then you get political agendas tossed at you, and you're like, "Dude, come on! Like, I get this."
Well, yeah. Before it even came out, I think that's what killed it.
Yeah.
Didn't you say that? Or no? I don't know if it was in a YouTube video or something, but they're like, what did they say? Like, something about Batman, and then they're like, "Oh, not until a woman portrays it." It's like, dude.
Yeah. So they had one of the. I think it was the first trailer for Batwoman was I think everyone knows about it right now, or most people know about it, is the one where they show her enter into the Batcave. So she just breaks into Bruce Wayne's Batcave, who's her cousin, and then tries to take the Batsuit. And before she takes the Batsuit, the guy that created her, or Lucius Fox's grandson or whatever, was like, oh, this is the highlight of perfection or something like that about the Batsuit, and then she looks at it, well, it will be when it's for a woman. And then
so I'm like, all right, no, you lost me there.
So it's like you get this female agenda stuff, or women, what is it, women's rights and all that stuff. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, women's rights are, there's a lot of times where it's appropriate, but I think when you're trying to push it on people, and we could get into that. So that's a whole different political issue. It's like, okay,
I just like Pamela Anderson's take on it.
What?
Well, Pamela Anderson was just on a talk show, and she's like, everything's cool. I love everything except overdoing it. And they overdo it. I mean, I support them. They're great, but they're just taking it way too far.
Yeah,
and it hurts them even more when somebody of their own kind is bashing them because of the things that they do is just over the top.
And then what they do in order to kind of prepare for all the backlash, or to prepare for any negative reviews, is they come out before the movies and they say, well, if you don't like it, then it's because you're a misogynist.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay.
you don't like women, you hate women. And it's like, no, I mean, there's plenty of female actors out there that I loved. I mean, what was Wonder Woman, Gal Gadot? I think she did a great job. I actually really liked that movie. Me and you went to go watch that movie too.
Oh yeah, that was pretty.
Yeah, I like that.
That was a good movie.
You got what's her name from
Wait,
Terminator?
we didn't go see the new one yet, huh?
Oh no, that one hasn't come out yet.
Oh. So
yeah, that one hasn't come out. That one I'll probably go check out too.
No, yeah, I like that take on it.
Yeah.
Like that's what they, not that they should copy that, but like they didn't force anything on it.
Yeah, and she's
just Wonder Woman.
Yeah, she's
that
a
was her
female character. Yeah, and it's
well, that's what it was meant to be.
Yeah, but there wasn't really any political agenda behind it.
Yeah, it wasn't like girl power or nothing. It was like, okay, well, we'll work together, guy, girl. I mean, she was working together with a regular dude, and she falls in love with the dude. I was like, that's cool. I mean, she still kicked ass.
Yeah,
I was like,
it wasn't forced.
Yeah, it was.
I saw the girl power in there, but it wasn't forced.
Yeah, it wasn't just overbearing. Whereas like she didn't. It wasn't like she didn't have any struggles. Like she struggled. She almost got her ass kicked, and she almost lost it all. I was like, okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
Give me a strong build up story. And then you have what's her name from Terminator? She was badass. You have Ripley from Alien. She was badass. I watched all 6 of those movies. I think I've rewatched that whole series like 3 times. There's some pretty badass female characters out there. It's like, okay, well.
Yeah, but again, it wasn't being like forced or anything.
Yeah.
It was just natural.
Yeah.
And that's what I enjoyed about it.
Yeah. Okay, but to wrap up this part of the show. So give me your take on what we watched as far as what we saw in Batman and Batwoman and what you thought. Your thoughts on it so far, just from the half that we saw. I mean, there's already so much to take out of it.
I mean, we saw it enough. Like, it was like towards the end of it.
I mean,
yeah, it was like almost the whole thing.
Yeah, she was in the Batcave, and that's probably when
the next commercial
she starts exploring. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so just I guess your quick take on it. What you liked, what you didn't like.
There's nothing wrong with it. Just the whole agenda stuff on there is you're killing it. You're ruining it. But I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. A female character that's taking the Batman mantle. There's nothing wrong with it. But just their take on it, like you guys are killing it. I mean, you guys can do better with it. But there's I don't know. So far, I had an open mind. I'm not really impressed. It's just your typical Batman story, I guess, or that whole origin with him. But I mean, other than that, just you see how skinny she is, and she's taking all these guys. Like, no, like you could be special ops or whatever, but when you have those arms, there's no way that you're taking down guys like that.
Yeah,
and even remember when she gets smacked with that paddle?
Yeah,
like come on. I get your girl power, but let's be realistic here.
All she gets from a big giant 2x4 in the face is a little cut on her lip.
Yeah. Come on, even Batman would.
Batman's like, hey man, add more armor to this because they stabbed me last time. That dog tore up my suit, and she gets blasted with freaking 2x4s and she's good. She's walking.
And then she wakes up at the hospital and she's like in pain because her arm has a cut, but like the worst hit to her face. She's like, I'm
really?
good. Just I was like, but to add a little bit to that, I was just thinking about it right now. I was like, you know what? I think you're right. Even if you have to change up the fighting styles, I think that's what makes it pretty cool, right? Because
she should have gotten a little more yoked for that.
Not even if they didn't go that route. I mean, yeah, if they're gonna go with the route that they did, I think you're right.
And because you got to remember that Batman has no superpowers.
Yeah.
Yeah, she seemed like she had superpowers because she was taking all those guys and taking those hits
without
a suit.
What makes Batman is
true, right?
What makes Batman like super incredible is that he trained with the monks, right?
No, the Ra's al Ghul.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, she got training too. So remember, her dad has that security.
But that's that special forces though. That's the Black Ops. It's like, all right, you could do your Black Ops thing, but it's like you with the arms and her build.
Yeah, you're talking about the realism.
Well, but I'm just saying, what makes Batman the capable of taking on everybody is the suit.
Yeah, his utility belt, the suit. Yeah, he has to.
Yeah.
The fact that he knows he's human.
Yeah.
He needs to use his tools.
Yeah, it was a combination of the two. But what I'm trying to get at is
it's a little.
But again, he's a guy though, and naturally guys are stronger.
Yeah, so what I'm trying to get at is if you're gonna go that route, either bulk her up or just give her some hardcore training, like you said, some real hardcore training, or do it, in a unique way that kind of tailors.
Which I'm sure they did give her training.
That tailors to her build. Like look at Black Widow. Black Widow was never a boxer. She was like a skilled.
She was technical.
Yeah, she was skilled, technical. Used her gadgets, and she could twist you up like none other, tie you up, all kinds of stuff. And she was
but
she took out
even Black Widow doesn't fight as many people as she did.
Yeah.
Yes and no. Remember
at the same time.
Yeah, remember in Iron Man 2 when she goes in the lobby and there's like 5 dudes in the lobby. She's trying to go to where the villain, what's his name? The
Loki?
Guy with the long hair?
Loki.
No, Iron Man 2.
Oh, Iron Man.
Oh, the...
Yeah, the guy with the whip.
Yeah, the guy with the whip. She's trying to break into where he is at Hammer Tech. She's trying to break in so she can go find him. He's not there, it turns out, but she goes in and there's like 5 or 6 dudes. And he's like, all right, I'll get this guy, and you get one. And then freaking Happy's boxing this one guy for like 5
minutes. She goes and she tears like 10 guys apart.
They're all hanging from different strings. So she can, but
she's using her tools too.
Yeah, she's using her strings, and then she doesn't really box. She's not like punching people. She's like twisting them up, throwing them against the wall.
But this chick, you see her like she blocks it. It's like, no, you would have flown through
grabbing
the wall.
these big old dudes and freaking throwing them against the wall, freaking flipping them over her back. Like,
like, see, they're killing it themselves.
It's like John Cena.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, yeah, I don't think I didn't see anything, at least not yet, that seemed overly.
Yeah, it's too early to judge it. Maybe 3-4 episodes in. If you still feel the same, then maybe.
I mean, I would give it a chance.
I'll give it a chance.
I would watch it. I mean, you don't know much of the take on the story with the first pilot.
No, it's too early to tell.
I mean,
I think
I'll give it like 4 episodes, and if it goes too much into like, I don't know, like non-things that I'm not, that I don't want to watch, or that I'm not like interested in, or it's just too over the top fantasy and stuff like that, I'll just stick to watching Harry Potter if I want to watch fantasy.
Exactly.
You guys are a little more optimistic than me. I didn't see anything that really drew my attention, especially like.
Well, no, it didn't, but I feel like it's too early.
But yeah, if you're trying to say, okay, well, overall, let's see how it's going to turn out. I think you got to wait a couple episodes. I think what kind of killed it was the politics and stuff, that the agendas that they were trying to push at the beginning that kind of just turned people off already. I mean, we're already getting into so many different things now that it's like, dude, I just want to freaking watch a show that entertains me. So I think the fact that they started with that, it kind of turned off a lot of people. It literally, like you said, I mean, it gives you a mindset going in beforehand. You just already want to hate this thing, no matter how good it is. But I
still give it a chance, though.
Yeah, if we're trying to be objective, I didn't see anything that was overly bad, overly super political. I mean, we didn't get to a couple of the parts that were, I guess, in the trailers and stuff. But I mean, I didn't see anything overly too agenda filled. The story, from what I could tell, I mean, it seemed kind of interesting. I heard it gets a little more interesting after that, but then they kind of give you the whole plot at the end of the first episode. I mean, at the end of the first episode, they pretty much tell you everything that happens, and it's like, okay, well, what's the interest in that? But I mean, I don't know. I mean, maybe we can watch another episode or something like that. I didn't find it too interesting. I didn't think it was that amazing. The fighting, like I said, was a little unrealistic. Maybe they could.
Well, that, and she seemed like just like a teenager. Just like, you sent me away, Dad. Like, I was like. He sees it. He even says it. He's like, I sent you to protect you. You know, you're not other people. You're my daughter.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know, she just seemed like a bratty teenager almost.
Yeah,
But
then-
like,
What
supposed
is
to be
that
cool.
And then I heard she got a big ass head in the costume too. I heard like her body's so skinny. I mean,
Is it the hair?
well, I don't know, because well, you know, the helmets are usually thicker, so it's like a freaking skinny body. So I don't know.
Bobblehead?
I'll have to watch it.
Her skinny body and her bobblehead.
We'll have to check it out. But all right, I think that's good enough for today. We hit our 30-minute mark, which is exactly what we want to do. So I'm going to go ahead and sign out and say thank you to all of you for watching. My whole 2 people. but you know, hopefully
3, because I'm gonna send it to my mom.
Oh, there we go. So 3 people. Oh, maybe I'll try my mom too. We'll see. But yeah, so we'll keep throwing videos out there. See if we get any positive feedback. We're gonna try to do a wide variety of issues. I don't think we're gonna just stick to like movies and stuff. We'll probably get into. I want to try and stay away from politics just because I'm not like 100% there yet. But we'll do different things. We'll review movies. We'll do games. We'll do all kinds of news. So if you guys want to stick around for that, if you find what we were saying kind of interesting, then you know, go ahead and stick around. Subscribe.